First of all, we know this was huge. I already talked about it in my Sunday walk video last night. In case you missed it, President Joe Biden is announcing he's dropping out of the race. Okay, he put out a letter saying that, he just decided that it's better for the party for him to step down, right? Now, when that happened, we actually had a huge dip. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we went from like 67 all the way down to like 65 something, and actually wiped out $67 million worth of long positions. Now, this was, of course, planned on purpose. This was done on purpose to drive people out. Every time we see some kind of massive news, we see something, or even with no massive news, we get these fake out, right? And I remember I'm like, what is going on? Why are we going down? And then boom, immediately afterwards, we started going up again. So obviously that was a fake out. And a lot of people think that Trump, whether you like him or believe in his policies, is definitely the better of the two candidates when it comes to pumping our bags, when it comes to pumping Bitcoin upwards because of his pro stance, right? And there's something else that's happening here that I'm going to get to in a little bit. So that is why we started going upwards. And it's going to be a very, very, very interesting week indeed. This month so far, okay, this was not last week. This month so far, up until the 19th, 41,000 Bitcoins was purchased. That's more, if you have noticed, than June plus May plus, of course, April, right? So, of course, that is absolutely massive. And then I got this. Let's bring up this site here. Look at this. Look at this. BlackRock with another $116 million. Man, this was so big. On Friday, overall inflow, $383 million from all the funds. But BlackRock alone, $160 million. But look at Fidelity, $141 million. Everything in the green. Everything hitting on all cylinders right now. The ETFs are soaking up every Bitcoin there is. And I've been telling you guys this for a very long time. You got to study what these big boys, what the big money, the smart money is doing. Behind the scenes, what they're doing is loading up billions upon billions upon billions of Bitcoin being loaded up by the institutions right now. And why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think they're doing that? Because they know Bitcoin is going to go a lot higher, and they could see everything that I'm putting together for you guys right now, right? They're all loading up. And that's why when we recently dipped, I told you guys, ignore the volatility, ignore the dips, continue to do what you've been doing for years, HODLing and DCA. And if you haven't been doing it for years, start doing it. HODL and DCA, dollar cost average, what you can, load up while you can before Bitcoin becomes too expensive. You could argue it's already too expensive for retail investors. But just wait until Bitcoin is above 100,000. Wait until next year when it's above 200,000, and wait 4 more years when it's over $1 million. That is when it becomes too expensive. That is when retail investors simply cannot accumulate any sizable number of Bitcoin. Has to be in the fractionals, right? But right now, there's still a chance for people to become whole coiners, and I think that's super, super important, right? And in case you've been living under a rock and you have not been hearing about what Larry Fink has been saying, but I don't think any of you guys have been living under a rock, but just to remind you guys, he recently put out the biggest endorsement interview ever in the history of endorsement videos, I guess, outside of Saylor and others. Bitcoin is a legitimate financial instrument. And he listed all the reasons why people get into Bitcoin: fear of inflation, fear of fiat debasing, fear of governments not knowing what they're doing, right? He didn't talk about Bitcoin going to $1 million or $10 million someday, but he talked about why it's important to hold Bitcoin, because it's a hedge against everything else. It's like an insurance plan against our financial system, really, if you think about it. And it's winning. It's paying out. It's the greatest investment ever. So even Larry Fink recognizes that. So imagine he becomes Treasury Secretary. If you want to comment on anything I've said in this video, make sure you head over to the Roundtable. The Roundtable is a new social media platform created for conversations. And best of all, it's spam-free, bot-free, unlike here on YouTube. And you could have conversations with me and others like Altcoin Daily, Scott Melker, Mauro Nafal, and many others are joining daily. And you also get rewarded in tokens for doing so. So check out the new Roundtable. Click the link in the description below. Now, outside of this, what else is there? MetaPlanet, kind of like Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, continues to load up Bitcoin. 1.2 million here, 1.2 million there. Everyone is buying 1.2 million. No, I'm just kidding. I messed up that rhyme. But anyways, $1.2 million worth of Bitcoin. Once again, they bought it like last week too. They're just doing a smaller version. They're following the playbook to the T, but they're doing a smaller version of that, right? Versus MicroStrategy, but it does not matter. Does not matter. You load up on Bitcoin however much you can, because it's going to be a lot more in the future, okay? So this 1.2 million purchase may seem tame compared to like Saylor's like 100 million purchase, but hey, it's still $1 million worth of Bitcoin. And they're going to continue to do so. And their stock has been blowing up ever since then. So I don't see why any public trade company at this point would not embrace the Bitcoin strategy and start buying Bitcoin and putting it in the reserve. I just don't understand it. It's proven to work. Like, why would any public trade company not start doing this? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not negative now. It's not taboo. It's not like when Saylor did in 2020 and everyone's laughing at him, right? I mean, imagine if Facebook or Amazon or Microsoft or Apple did it. People would cheer. No one would be like saying, well, that's a bad move. Or Nvidia or anyone else, you know? Imagine if Walmart said that. I mean, their stock will probably blow up. No one's excited about Walmart stock, but if they announce they're adding Bitcoin to their reserve, yeah, people will get excited about their stock once again, if you think about it.